Hello everyone, Combiner Wars Constructicon Bonecrusher. Bonecrusher, Scavenger, and Scrapper all have the smallest alt modes. They're pretty much the same length if we don't include like shovels and whatnot. Let me lift that up. Yeah, they're pretty much all the same length, so they all have the smallest alt modes. Anyway, Bonecrusher. He looks cool. Here's a lot of molded in details like these vents right here that are actually painted silver. No paint down there. I would have loved if that was purple. They didn't paint these back windows. They painted the front. But yeah, he has a little bit of a grill right there. I guess these are lights. They're painted all silver. But pretty much he has no paint at all, pretty much, besides this and what I just went into. This canopy opens, it feels like you're gonna break it. You have to open that for the transformation, but that is a little bit tight. This is what he looks like from the underside. So basically he has probably the least amount of robot kibble. I mean, when you lift this all the way up, you have that, but that doesn't look like a robot per se. Bonecrusher rolls very well. He has two wheels here on the treads, and one wheel on this little part right there that becomes part of Devastator's arm. So that's cool. Let's get down to transformation. First thing you want to do, separate this from the tread, from this part right here. And you could go ahead and bring this down, rotate these black parts out to the side right here. I'll leave this alone for now because that's very difficult and we could just focus on that later. You could just put everything like this for now. Bring this down, separate this from the back, and get that out the way. Split this in half, they're pegged together. Bring them out like this and just stop. Bring the arms out like that and down on the ball joint. Down on the ball joint. Now we can open this. Flip out his head. Bend this part down and bring the head up to here. That pegs in. Unfortunately, these shoulders don't peg into anything. They're just pretty much sitting there. So now you want to bend this part down and bring, come on, it's kind of hard to do. Bring the chest up to about right here. So now that's all good. Now the upper half is done. So now what you want to do is bring these back out. Well, before that, bring the legs down. Open the toes. Now bring this hinge out to here. Bring this hinge out to here. And there's a tab right here on the black part. They're supposed to tab over into here. So you have to try to tab those into place while getting this hook around to that, which is a bit difficult because this is loose and it pretty much stops you at every turn. So peg them into place, the black parts, and then squeeze and try to get that hook onto the green parts. And now move each leg separate because that hook does not hold that together very well. But basically, you have Bonecrusher in his robot mode. Once again, he has a masterpiece quality face. All of them have excellent head sculpts. I mean, it's so cartoon accurate. It is crazy. I can just envision him talking on the movie. Here's some nice paint on his chest and nice vent details right there. That came out good. He's silver on his arms right there and purple hands. That came out really good. Of course, he has that paint there. That was in vehicle mode. He sorta has a waist joint because it turns here. But the chest plate stays where it is, so it doesn't really look like a waist joint. Not really. If the chest moved too, it would look like a waist joint. His bulge on his shoulders, bulge on his elbows, plus a double joint right there. So he has excellent articulation. The legs can go out there, kick out like there, go back, bend at the knees, which are kind of loose on mine, and they swivel at the knee. And he has ankle pivot and toes that bend in and down. So he has awesome leg posability, but what kills it is this crotch plate on mine, and several other people's will not stay together. So that's a major flaw. I mean, that really kills him as a figure. I mean, I shouldn't even be fighting with this in the middle of a review. I should be able to just talk about him and pose him and whatnot. But that does frustrate. Here he is with the blade blasters. The two Devastator gun parts, or hand blasters, I should say. This one covers his hand a little bit, which is cool. Now the double barrel blaster and the cannon, so rocket launcher. Now, like I keep saying, this hip part, most of this is loose. His knees are not tight at all. It's not tight on this ball joint. I'm gonna put some floor polish on him now that I've bought it finally, and see if that helps things, and maybe I'll do an update on just him. But this crotch part kills it. And I just realized I started the review in the wrong order. I should have started with him in robot mode, but then I wouldn't have been able to showcase this crotch part so well. Anyway, he's just gonna magically be in his vehicle modes so I can get to his Devastator part. But he's awesome. Just this kills it, because he has like all the articulation you need. But if this was a little bit more tight, like I said, it would have been awesome. And maybe if he had a waist joint. Here he is from the back. Didn't show that off. He does have this kibble hanging, and there's nothing you can do about that. You can just don't look at it. Just ignore it. Let's see, I guess you could put it up like this, but that looks even more stupid. Limb mode, it's really simple. Now the arms are the only thing that are swappable as far as this set. The legs, Scrapper is definitely the right foot, and Mixmaster is definitely the left foot. But as far as the arms, you can pick and choose. But Bonecrusher is typically his left arm. So first thing you want to do is unpeg this from this part right here, which is the combiner part. Swing this down, turn it around so that this little hole right there, that port is showing. You might as well bring this forward like this, because it gets it out of the way when he's actually in Devastator mode. Take this part, which is actually the left hand, you can tell by the thumb, do this and swing this around, and this joint right here is tight as hell. This mushroom right there is tight, so when you turn it, it basically pops it off the hinge right there, which you might want to just grab here and turn it. We're turning it so that the thumb is straight up with this part. Go ahead and slide it on. It pegs into that port, and now we have his left arm, and that's that. I'll show you how you combine it.